And we're live. You see, we already joking for y'all boys. My boys over here talking, having a good time, but that's what we do on the Listen to DBG podcast. We have a good time. We keep it real. We form that family type of atmosphere amongst us four, and we're hoping we can do the same for y'all, man. But we got a good one. We gonna steal the 30 for 30 title. The Bullies of Baltimore, because it literally is so fitting.
Yep.
That's what type of ball they've played all year. That's what they've been known for decades, I feel like. Being bullies. Hit you in the mouth, run the football. Hit you in the mouth, run the football. We ain't never going to get no good wide receiver because we won't hit you in the mouth and run football, and hit you in the mouth and run the football. Yep. So, with that being said, Lamar Jackson, we know he's going to be the MVP. Lamar Jackson got the big bag. Lamar Jackson had held out. Lamar Jackson, first time going to the AFC Championship. Lamar Jackson trying to get to that Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Most of the year has been about Lamar, which obviously he's a quarterback. He looks different than most quarterbacks. He acts different than most quarterbacks. He runs different than most quarterbacks. He plays different than most quarterbacks. Yeah. And he showed up. Joe Burrow, paid, injured, terrible year. Herbert, injured, out. Who else we got? Geno got paid this year.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Hurts. No.
Daniel Jones.
Danny Jones. Mm-hmm. We have the one guy that performed for his contract this year, which is more than a one-year contract, but the year that they got paid, there's one that did it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's this man right here. Nobody wanted him. They are the first time I've ever seen so many people say, no, we don't want to take him out to the public.
The Falcons talking about they good.
Right? the fact that they all did that and Lamar performed how he did and got them right here, you couldn't have asked for a better ending except for one that says MVP, Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP.
Mm-hmm. Trifecta.
Yeah.
For a guy that's been through everything he has from he's not a quarterback to him about to win a second MVP, and people still call him a running back. What will it mean if Lamar gets to the Super Bowl, wins the Super Bowl, and wins that MVP? Take us through that, Justin.
So he's about to play 2 Super Bowls. Because this matchup with the Chiefs, this is a Super Bowl already. You got Pat Mahomes. He got 2 Super Bowl wins. So he goes in, and they roll through Mahomes. If they can do that, that's his first Super Bowl. And then he had the second Super Bowl. Now, I'm not sure if it's the Niners or the Lions, but I feel like it's his year. It's his time. Like you said, second MVP coming. Hey, that's already won. Now he got the Super Bowl pending. Super Bowl MVP pending. And I just really feel like Lamar is going to do exactly what he did on Saturday when he just took over the game. Like he was running crazy out there. Mm-hmm. Like shit, it was mad moves, like creative player moves, and it was just his speed and just in between the tackles, and it's crazy. True. Like you got him just running past DBs. They stop running because they can't catch him. Yeah. So it's just gonna be great to see that they can put everything together and he can finally get him a good Super Bowl, a good win. Mm-hmm. Because I mean he's been deserving of winning and making it to the Super Bowl his whole time he's been in the league. So it's just good to see, their offense and their defense all come to fruition at the same season. So I hope he does pull it out, and which I'm almost 100% sure that he's going to be Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, and then also the NFL MVP.
Facts. What you thinking on, Will? You think he got a chance to pull off that trifecta?
A chance? Yeah, 100%. That's a big percent, though.
That's a huge percent.
Hey, I said last week, man, this would mean everything. I'm going to double down on what he said. It would mean everything for Lamar. And I'll add on that I believe that this first Super Bowl is the real Super Bowl. I think he's already beaten the Niners and shown that he can beat them, and as we've already seen, the AFC is a little more loaded than the NFC is. even though you still only got to beat the team in front of you. But if the Lions versus, Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, man, look, if Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs play like they did last game, I don't care what they did this season. He's still Pat Mahomes. If they don't drop the ball, they damn near undefeated. You know what I mean? He didn't lack so much talent. Marquez Valdez-Scantling's got speed. You know what I'm saying? Rashee Rice has been doing his thing. He's got big targets. He's got fast. They just got to catch the damn ball and run a decent route and not get dumb penalties.
Yes.
If they don't beat themselves, this may be the Super Bowl. And to be honest, I think it's more important because of who Pat Mahomes is. I feel like, sometimes you get to your first Super Bowl, like with Jalen Hurts. The bad thing about how Jalen and them went out with the Eagles this year is because the way they went to the Super Bowl was a cakewalk. You played Daniel Jones, and then you got to play the 49ers with a damn running back or whoever the hell it was, at quarterback. They didn't have no quarterbacks left. And then you go to the Super Bowl, and they're like, well, we made it anyway. And I'm like, shut up. Like, if you played Brady, you wouldn't even made it that far, probably. Like, at least, as Cowboy fans believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you come and you get exposed this year. That's exactly what we said you are. Undercoached, you're really not as good as you thought you were. You just had you just got a really lucky road. Lamar ain't had that, man. Lamar is balling out. He's playing quality teams. He's playing quality football. He needs to win this week for his legacy. He can afford to lose in his first Super Bowl appearance. Not saying he would, but he can afford that. If he loses to Pat Mahomes, it's gonna be Pat owns the league. He owns the AFC. He owns the league because that'll put everybody ducks in a row. Burrow, Lamar, Allen, he got everybody numbered.
Imagine Pat Mahomes going to the Super Bowl with these receivers. Bro, they should, if he makes it,
I already think he's the GOAT.
They should just give him the Super Bowl, bro. If you make it with how them boys have looked all year, that's Brady-esque, bro.
It is.
That's better than Brady. He doesn't have an Edelman. Like, he doesn't even have a Gronk.
Yeah, facts.
Right now, because Kelsey's been trash in some of these games he's winning. Quiet as kept. Kelsey still, but he's been playing like shit until just now. He just now started picking it up. Kelsey was dropping the ball worse than the receiver. I'm like, what the hell? Who is this? How are you winning with this, bro?
Man, I would love to see him win it because although we know he can throw the ball, He's proven that, right?
Yeah.
But if we really look at just the history of the NFL, I think he would be the only so-called quote-unquote running quarterback to win a Super Bowl, right?
Running quarterback.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they said for years, you can't win a Super Bowl with this type of guy. You can't win a Super Bowl. Yeah, and they've thrown that in our face. It's coded, really. We know
it's heavily coded.
Yeah, we know what they're trying to say. But to see him, I want to see him win one so bad, man, with his style of play, the way he does it. It's almost like a Vic 2.0, and I think that if he can go in and he can beat the Chiefs, they got the home game. If they can beat the Chiefs, and I'm not saying that it's a done deal with them beating the 49ers, man. I'm not. Like, I feel like when you get beat like they did, on national TV like that, you got so much film that you can go back and go look at and change this and that, So I'm not saying it's a done deal. They're just gonna smack the 49ers like they did before, but I would love to see him win it. I think that he puts the work in. He's been doubted. I think Lamar's story is like our story. We feel like that, right? We've adopted that story. Like, they said I wasn't gonna be this, they said I wasn't gonna be that. I gotta go out here and show you, And I think that we would love to see him go out and win it. I don't think anybody that's in our community, period, would want to see Lamar not win it. So I'm definitely pulling for him.
His road is the exact opposite of Purdy's.
Yeah.
For real. Purdy got to come right into the most talented team ever assembled in the last 10 years, damn near.
Yep.
On both sides of the ball. And Lamar had
head coach and coordinator
with a tight end as his best receiver.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was his road to his very first MVP, and he was getting trashed when he had no receivers. Like, he can't throw, and you looking like, to who?
Yeah.
To who?
Yeah.
To who? He better run for his life, and then they weren't blocking. They had to get the line together. They had to piece the team together year by year, and they took time doing it. It wasn't like no insta, like you get drafted, like, oh, go ahead and get in there, and we're gonna trade for CMC tomorrow. Like, what?
Yeah.
Do y'all realize how that happened, bro? Like,
it was insane. Like,
get Eric Armstead in the middle, like Nick Bosa. And, you know what? Chase Young. Go to the other edge. What the hell?
Yeah.
What's the cap room on this team right now? What's going on? We playing.
And Bosa got a super duper quarterback bag.
Yeah,
he did.
I'm trying to see how teams don't be able to get stuff when you got Debo who got paid, Bosa who got paid, you got McCaffrey who got paid, you got Trent Williams.
Got his
money. Everybody, Warner got paid. Like, how do y'all get all these cats?
Somebody lying about the money, and then of course it's because Purdy's playing for what he's actually worth.
Yeah.
That's how much he worked though.
He actually worked though.
As soon as he gets paid, you're about to see this team break up, and then they're gonna be hanging on to it. That's why they're trying to milk this now. Because they get paid and it falls.
They got a window.
Hanging on to whatever success he can grab. If he gets the Super Bowl, they go, well, he is a Super Bowl champion, so you got to respect. Look, man, he's not leaving. I don't give a damn. Like about that ring. Because I promise you, he's gonna turn into a pumpkin.
What about that defense, man?
That's what I want to talk about.
And like I said, obviously, I was starting to go there. It's all been Lamar. But that defense is the number one scoring defense. I think this will be the first time since it's been like the 72 Dolphins and something else where you average 25 points on offense and have like the number one scoring defense. So how do y'all feel about that defense? Because it has carried. I love Lamar. That defense has carried them through this year for a long period of time because of how well they played. So what you think, Devin?
Man, I think that they are the unsung heroes of this team, man. If you look at that game last week, I was riding high with the Texans, man. I really did sip that Stroud Kool-Aid, man. I really was feeling like, hey, Stroud was gonna go in there and make some things happen because I felt like, and it kind of did play out how I thought a little bit in the sense of I thought the Ravens offense was gonna struggle a little bit at the beginning of the game because they had to kind of get their, you had that bye, you hadn't played, and so they had, and really Lamar hadn't played in 2 weeks, so they had to kind of get their rhythm and everything going, and the defense held it down until he was able to get it going, until they were able to get things rolling, But they shut the Texans down. Like, no run game. They couldn't get the run game going. They couldn't get the passing game going. Like, they really look great. Like, they really do. And they look like an elite defense. So I can't wait to see, what they're going to do to these receivers that Pat never throw out there. But I know Andy Reid going to scheme some things up. But I can't wait to see.
Man, what do you think, man? What do you think the Chiefs and Mahomes will be able to do with those receivers? Did Pacheco come back in the game after he rolled his ankle a little bit?
I think
so. Yeah.
Okay, I thought he came back. I didn't know if he had a little limp, but I know he kind of rolled it.
Yeah, he did.
But with Pacheco, he's not a super big back. He runs like he's 6'10". But he's not that big, but he runs like that. And then obviously these wide receivers. You think they got something for them Ravens with?
Yeah, I actually do. And when I say something for them, I don't think that the matchup is necessarily in their favor. The talent competition clearly goes to the Ravens.
Yeah.
And because I think great secondaries depend on the front a lot of times.
Yeah.
Great pass rush does a lot for a secondary because you don't got to cover as long. It's really simple. The game we all love is a very simple game. When you got that great rush up front or great coverage from your linebackers as well, when they're helping, then it makes your job that much easier. And they're clearly in sync. They're clicking on all cylinders. So the Chiefs, their work's cut out for them. There's no other way to put it. Believe it or not, I actually think the real difference in that game, if the Chiefs have a shot at winning, will be on the other side of the ball. Because what the Ravens just faced is not what they're going to face.
Yeah.
Facts.
And so they had some injuries, though. The Chiefs had some injuries, too. I know
they did, but Chris
hurt.
Jones wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
As long as they got Jones, Karlaftis, and what's the name that came back in the middle of the year, Nick Bolton. And then right there.
But the line.
I like their chances. And like you said, Andy Reid is a very smart coach. He's always prepared. I don't expect him to come in and lay down for these boys. And one thing I do know about pressure, the worst place to get is up the middle.
Yep.
And so when your guys, Chris Jones and Aaron Donald, that's why they're so dominant. That's why they won the last Super Bowl, because when it was time to close, it's not coming off the edge. He's in your face in a hurry.
In a hurry.
And you're going to have to run into the edges if you want to get away. He's coming right down your throat. You know, and that's a big deal because one of the things Lamar's been doing to get his run game going isn't necessarily doing that little league thing, you know, where they run around to the outside. He lets the edges do their thing, and then he comes right up the gut,
down the middle.
right up the gut, and gets vertical quick. And next thing you know, he done got 8 yards in 1.5 seconds. You know, but with Chris Jones right there and Nick Bolton, who's not a slow linebacker by any stretch of the imagination, very smart. I think that could be a difference maker. And you know, everybody knows the plan. You got to bottle Lamar up. You got to get reins on the guy and get him under control and make him beat you exclusively with his arm. He can throw. But if you make him beat you exclusively with his arm, that's going to be a tough task. And then it's just a matter of stopping that run game, which is a whole nother ball game, of course. Yeah. But I like the Chiefs corners too. So the Chiefs corners ain't nothing to sniff at either.
Yeah. If Mark Andrews comes back to this game, right? Mark Andrews is going to play.
Yeah, Mark Andrews. They say he's back.
Sit down, Mark. Let Likely.
I don't.
Likely been balling.
Don't mess up that.
Likely is a fool.
Yeah.
Likely been playing.
I'm telling you, this ain't basketball where you can get a rip. Like football, you gotta be on the field. You can't be putting Mark in and taking me out.
Mark might get some snaps to get him work back in.
Okay,
but he ain't gonna
get out there and block.
Yeah, he gonna get out there and play, but Mark ain't gonna.
Isaiah Likely is likely to score a lot of touchdowns again.
Too
Every
good.
time he goes on the field, he's likely to score. Because that dude can play football, bro. He's a
dog. If they start Mark Andrews, that will be the most cowboy shit that they could possibly do. That is all politics, no football.
Yeah.
Facts. What you got for us, Justin?
Watch. Remember, like they started Tony Pollard now after the injury. Tony was the best running back in the goddamn backfield for 2 goddamn years, and they gave this dude 3 touches a game.
Yeah.
Because Zeke's name is Zeke. It was
that was a headache, man.
This dude getting 8 yards a carry. We gave it to him 3 times.
Facts. What you got, Jay?
Man, what I really think, man, we need the Ravens front 7 to get after them because they get that push and start making plays and basically not giving Mahomes enough time to get that Mahomes magic going because the receivers. I mean, like you said, the receivers. Now Rice, that man, he been balling. You know, SMU boy, he balled there at SMU. He balling in the lead now. So I mean, at the end of the day, you put that pressure on Mahomes. Mahomes, he can make mistakes, but he makes them very, very seldom.
Yeah.
So if they are able to put that pressure on them, and then just have the DBs. Just handle up. You only got it like what Will said. I mean, you only really got to cover for a few seconds. So as long as you got that pressure, then that's what they have them. Now, as far as with the actual Chiefs front 7, I mean, that's something else too because they got them dogs. Yeah. And I really like the matchup with the Ravens offensive line though, because I mean, they're there. They give Lamar just enough time that he needs, and he don't need much.
Yeah.
So as long as I do really feel like the game will be decided by less than like 7 points for sure. Yeah. So I do have Lamar winning this one though, just because I mean it's Lamar. He's hungry. Like Pat, he don't have the receivers. Neither does Lamar. But shit, Lamar got that speed, and he gonna make something happen.
Yeah. He's used to this. Lamar's used to this.
I'm about to say Lamar ain't never had the receivers, right? So
for the culture, I'm going with Lamar for the culture.
The only thing that scares me is I seen a Bengals team that had beat the Chiefs 3 straight times, right? In that same Chiefs team that had all their guys that lost to that Bengals team had practice squad wide receivers and went to the Super Bowl last year. And these, they ain't great, but these ain't the practice squad guys. These are the guys that have been there all year and have been performing in the playoffs. That's the one thing that scares me. I've seen Pat do it against a team that beat him 3 times in a calendar year with legitimate practice squad wide receivers.
Yeah.
On one leg.
On a bum.
I remember that.
And mind you, these practice squad wide receivers were behind very bad Juju and it was not like it was Kel's Tyreek days. Tyreek's not even there. They're behind MBS, Juju,
Sky Moore.
Shy Moore. Those are the practice guys coming up.
Yeah.
So, bum ankle, practice squad guys, I can't never count Mahomes out, but I got to go with Lamar, like we said, for the culture. Pat, it's kind of like the same thing I talk about Stroud. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Pat, you done did your thing, bro. You
Pat,
got the wins. You're breaking Brady and Gronk's records. Let Lamar do something. Hey, Lamar can literally win this one, get the MVP, the trifecta, get the Super Bowl MVP. I don't care, Lamar throw 100 more picks. I'm talking mess for the rest of my life.
Cash money. I'm talking cash money.
Hey, tell that boy retire.
Hey, what's crazy though? If Mahomes does, say Mahomes, and even though we want Lamar to win, right? But if Mahomes does win, then we still gonna talk because look, I'm like, oh, he coming to catch Brady. He the GOAT. He coming to get Brady.
It's a win-win situation,
bro. I ain't never seen nobody play like this dude in my life.
I'm not mad at either. Yep. I want Lamar or Mahomes to win, but I want Lamar more than Mahomes. But if Mahomes go, it's a win-win for me.
Yep.
So, but I think Lamar, this is his year, and I want him because I know how hard it is. And for Mahomes, because you're so talented as a thrower, Mahomes would literally, if I had to bet on an over-under today, I would put it at like 3.5. I think he goes to 4 more Super Bowls, and that might be low.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I say that is he's a guy that his athleticism isn't sky high.
True.
And he'll kind of sit there for a long time with how mobile he is.
Yep.
But that arm don't go nowhere as long as you take care of it. So therefore, as long as you got a Mahomes, you can always draft. You can always trade for better guys as he maybe. Think about it. Mahomes at 100 is unstoppable. Mahomes at 85 is still dang near the best quarterback. Is the best quarterback in the league.
He's still the best quarterback in the league.
85, that's going to be 8 years from now. Or a bad injury or something. Yep. So therefore, I can't see him not getting to about 3-4 more just because of his talent alone and the guys' belief in him, and you know what belief does for other guys.
Yeah, we low balling him for sure. Because I'm saying Lamar, you got to make it this year because he ain't coming back with these receivers. If you think coming back with this, you know how we say they playing for their job already gone, man. They playing for their legacy. They playing for their job somewhere else.
Right. Facts.
They going to the draft and free agency, and they picking up everybody.
Yeah, they got to hit free agency draft. I think they would go. I think the Chiefs probably gonna go free agency, try to just get more of a veteran guy in there versus possibly taking a gamble on a rookie. So
shoot, they might get your boy out of LSU. Love, man.
Neighbors.
Neighbors.
What they need to do is go holler at like Neighbors or something, and then go figure out a way to get rid of some pieces or trade for Stephon Diggs, because he ain't gonna be with the Bills no more.
He done.
I hope he ain't joking. That can happen.
But
can easily happen.
And let me tell you something. What's even better than that? Because you got to get rid of pieces for him. You ain't got to get rid of no pieces for Big Mike. Big Mike Evans is a free agent,
and he hungry.
And you go, I did this with Bank. I did this with Jameis. I did this with Trask. You gonna give me Pat?
That'd be nasty, bro.
That would.
Had a 6'5" stud. Are you crazy?
Man, hey, that would be another Super Bowl trip right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
When Brady got Moss, basically, when we were like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, I remember that.
Who let this happen?
Right. That shit was unfair.
Like they did the Lakers with Chris Paul coming with
Chris Paul.
They were like, no, you ain't gonna. We cut the cord on that.
Facts, man. But no, we killed it today, man. We got a lot of great topics in. We'll be back with more. We still got some stuff. We'll give y'all some predictions on what we think is going to happen in the NFC, AFC championship games to the Super Bowl. And I think the best thing that's happening is it's been good football being played, right?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of storylines. So even when there's some games like maybe the Stroud in the Lamar game that happened, it's still storylines there. The young guys. So it was a blowout in the end, but you still wanted to see Stroud there. It wasn't like, man, we got, let's say, I don't know, a Lucky Browns team that didn't have Joe Flacco or whatever. Mm-hmm. All the games have storylines with golf. You got the storyline with the Niners. You got the storylines with Pat and the Ravens. This playoffs has been a pretty good playoff. So we'll be bringing y'all some more predictions and our thoughts on everything. We appreciate y'all. We
All
out.
right.